Playoff time in the Gainbridge Super League here in Jacksonville as the second seed Sporting JAX hosts the third seed Carolina Ascent in a semifinal matchup that will send the final team to the Gainbridge Super League Finals against Lexington SC. Hello, everybody. Along with the former championship-winning coach Becky Burley, I'm Cole Pepper. And Becky, we have a terrific matchup tonight. This is the highest-scoring team in the league taking on the team that is playing the best soccer at the moment at the end of the season.
Well, this is what it's all about. It all comes down to this, and it's great to see another rematch because we get to see what adjustments each team will make.
Both of these two sides met last week with Carolina winning 3-1. Here's a look at the bracket. As we mentioned, Lexington advancing through a 2-0 victory over Dallas Trinity yesterday. So tonight's winner will go to Lexington in the final. That will be played on May 30th, a 7 o'clock kickoff in Kentucky. All right, now let's talk about the key performers in this game and what we expect to see, including with Sporting JAX. This is a team in their inaugural year. They set league records for wins and goals scored, and they played one of the most attractive types of soccer we've seen in this league.
Yeah, it's been really impressive to watch this because not only have they played well, but they've gotten the results that go with playing well. Can't wait to see that play out.
They have a number of players who have put up big numbers this year, led by Ashlyn Puerta, the attacking midfielder with 12 goals, 7 assists. She's one of 3 players with double digits in terms of goals, one of 4 players with 7 assists on this team. Sporting JAX can get it done from every direction.
I mean, this is an impressive stat when you look at 3 players in double digits, 3 players with 7 assists. I mean, that just shows the depth of this team.
We could add Meg Hughes into that one as well. But it all comes down to Ashlyn Puerta, the 19-year-old phenom who played 1 year at Florida State, came to Jacksonville, and from the beginning has set this league on fire.
Absolutely. Her performance as a young player, not just here, but in her international game, I mean, it has just raised the level of this team every time she steps on the field.
And she'll be looking for a moment here in the postseason. For Carolina, this is a team that last year was the Players' Shield winner in the league. This year finished third. They're the only team to make the playoffs in each of the first 2 seasons in the Gainbridge Super League. The key word with Philip Poole's club, consistency.
Yeah, I think experience and consistency. I mean, for sure they've been one of the top teams every time, and the consistency in which they play is just pretty amazing to watch.
They ended the season on an 11-match unbeaten streak for the second straight time, and we'll keep an eye today on Jill Aguilera, left back, but she can do it all. Assists, goals. She scored this Olympico last week against Sporting JAX, and she really powers this Carolina Ascent side.
Yeah, as Philip Poole says, she's a pro's pro. She brings it every single day, not just in the matches, but also in training.
It's a semifinal matchup in the Gainbridge Super League, and it's coming up next from Hodges Stadium in Jacksonville. Back to take a look at the starting lineups right after this. For more than 150 years, Ascension St. Vincent's has delivered award-winning compassionate care across Northeast Florida with 4 hospitals, primary care offices, urgent care centers, and freestanding emergency departments throughout the region. From everyday wellness to advanced specialty care, including heart, cancer, orthopedics, brain and spine surgery, and women's health, we're here for you when you need us most. Get the care you count on, close to home. Learn more at ascension.org/St. Vincent's.
Make Honda of the Avenues your first stop for award-winning customer service and world-class Honda vehicles. Our inventory is bigger than ever, which means we have the perfect Honda waiting for you. Plus, at Honda of the Avenues, we always put our customers first, making the car buying experience fun, fast, and easy. Find great deals on our huge selection, like this month when you lease a 2025 Accord for just $199 a month, or lease a 2026 CR-V Hybrid for $289 a month. Come see just how different car buying can be at Honda of the Avenues, proud sponsor of Sporting JAX.
Caitlin Clark, amazing at assists. Gainbridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Caitlin Clark, great at assists. Gainbridge, great at assists for your savings.
This evening's match is presented by Ascension St. Vincent's, Adidas, Honda of the Avenues, Price.com, and Sunbelt Rentals. These two teams met 4 times during the regular year, including the season finale. For more on the matchup tonight, let's go down to the sidelines and check in with Emerson Burris.
Well, last weekend, Sporting JAX had a chance to clinch the Player Shield, but after a 3-1 loss to Carolina Ascent in Charlotte, that trophy instead went to Lexington SC. When you look back at the stats, the match was so even. Sporting JAX had 59% possession and trailed to Carolina by only 1 shot, 20-19. Today, the teams have a rematch here in Jacksonville in the semifinals with a spot in the championship on the line. I spoke with Sporting JAX head coach Stacey Balaam this week, who said they are so disappointed and she hopes her team can find the edge in a win or go home match. Her message to the team: this is it. You don't have another chance, and today is your opportunity to make it right from last week.
All right, Emerson, thank you. Let's take a look at the starting lineups presented by East Coast Transportation, bringing the teams to compete. And Becky, a little bit of a change here for Sporting JAX. Maggie Illig back in at the right back position. They leave Abby Boyan at the right wing back position after she scored the goal against Carolina a week ago.
Yeah, and Illig definitely has experience there. Glad to see her back in the lineup, and we'll see what a difference that makes.
And for Carolina Ascent, they are without some key performers, including Riley Baisden and Sydney Studer, but a lot of the same faces and a lot of veteran players here in this starting 11.
This is a veteran lineup with a lot of experience, and it's the same lineup that they played last week. So it'll be interesting to see if they make any tactical changes within this lineup.
And there are the starting 11s in the 4-4-2 for Carolina. Shea Groom and Mackenzie George. You look at Jill Aguilera right there. And when you start looking at the age differences on this field, it's going to be notable as well. Mostly you're talking about mid to late 20s, even a couple of the 30s for Carolina. Early 20s for the most part for this Jacksonville side. Yeah,
and you could think about that in 2 ways. You know, the experience factor might go to Carolina, or maybe you don't know what you need to be afraid of if you're Jacksonville.
It is a warm, windy day in Jacksonville, Florida. 86 degrees at kickoff. We'll see if that plays a part in fitness here at this point of the season. The excitement level for both of these clubs and the opportunity to get to the finals is now at hand. Carolina with the kickoff. Long ball set ahead. Aguilera chasing after it. Can't get to it. And Sporting JAX will have a throw near the corner flag. They'll try to go quickly. Last week against Carolina, Jacksonville scored first. Abby Boyan scoring an early goal. Her first for the club. But the rest of the scoring all for Carolina Ascent. That was just the second time all season long that Sporting JAX scored first and then failed to hold on. They lost only 2 games after scoring first, the first game of the year and the last game of the regular season.
And here we have a set piece for Carolina. We know this is one of their strengths, so this will be a good test early for Sporting JAX.
Mia Corbin will line this one up. Carolina has been terrific both attacking and defending set pieces this season. Corbin with an in-swinger. Out in front, punched away once, still loose in the box. And finally driven away by Puerta for Sporting JAX. That was a dangerous moment in the opening minute here for Carolina. Corbin, diagonal ball into the box. Parks coming out and leaping for the grab. Kaylin Parks with 10 clean sheets this year. The leaders had 11. But what a season she had. And we take another look at the set pieces. And Becky, you think this is going to be one of the keys to this matchup?
Well, it's also, the wind is a little bit in the favor of this. It's a great save by Kate Parks. It's a dangerous ball played in, and it's going to be something that I'm thinking Carolina is going to look to capitalize on all game.
Well, let's take a look at the Ascension St. Vincent keys to the game for Sporting JAX. You'd like to see this young team have some early success and then handle the counter press from Carolina.
Absolutely. That counter press, I think, is what they do very, very well at Carolina. And to be able to play their way out of those tight spaces is going to be key.
You mentioned set pieces for Carolina, but also keeping the momentum. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. 6 straight victories, 11 straight unbeaten for Carolina Ascent.
They certainly have some momentum, but, when it's all on the line, it also feels a little bit different. So we'll see if they can keep that going.
Sporting JAX able to dig it out from the press here. Paige Kenton draws the foul. And Sophia Bowman sends it back to Georgia Brown. Brown just this week called back up for service for the Scotland women's national team. She's had a couple of trips to represent Scotland. This one over the top. Kenton trying to run onto it. Can't get there. It'll be a goal kick for Carolina. This has been quite the season for Sporting JAX under first-year head coach Stacey Balaam. She took over here as a startup coming out of the college ranks. She was the associate head coach at Vanderbilt, came to Jacksonville. Mark Warburton, the head of soccer, said that he just saw something in her, and boy, his insight has been keen. She's been terrific this year.
Yeah, you got to give credit for Mark for his instincts on that one, because she has been amazing for this club. Not just tactically the decisions she makes, but also how she manages this team in terms of all the personalities.
Jacksonville trying to find a way through on the far side. Now here comes Bailey DeSmit. Dispossessed by Carolina. Corbin tries to dig it out of there. Sophie Jones got a foot to it. And then captured by Lily Nabet for Carolina Ascent. Tried to get it ahead. Georgia Brown well positioned to intercept for Sporting JAX. Now here's Boyan. And a throw coming from right in front of Phillip Poole in the Carolina technical area. There's Poole. His side did not get a win until October the 4th this year, but you see the record on the road. Only 2 losses away from Charlotte for this side. They have been very good, and Poole, an experienced coach with an experienced roster.
Yeah, there's no doubt that his experience is playing a part in this roster build, in this roster consistency, the way they've played. He really does a great job of helping his team problem solve, but not giving them the answers. And you can see that on the field when they get into tight spaces.
It'll be a throw for Carolina. A lot of seagulls circling around the park here. You may see them come in and out of your screen. Ascent on a run out here. To get past Georgia Brown. This one crossed in, and there's the early goal for Carolina. In the 6th minute, Carolina Ascent break free, and Sporting JAX going to have to play from behind.
Transition is where Carolina is very, very dangerous, and they had numbers up, and they took advantage of that.
Mackenzie George gave it up, then got it back, and puts it away. And just like that, Carolina keeps that momentum rolling.
Carolina scores first here, but Sporting JAX has done a terrific job all season long of being able to come back from being down. And let's see what today brings in terms of their ability to do that.
We talked about the key, one of those keys being early success for Sporting JAX. And you're right, the big question now is what kind of a response will we see? This has been a resilient team all year long. Late in the year, they've encountered a little more trouble than they saw throughout the middle portion of the campaign when they were atop the table. Another one over the top. Georgia Brown back to defend for Sporting JAX. Shea Groom down on the carpet for a moment.
Cole, one of the things you mentioned in the last few weeks is the hold-up play of Sporting JAX forwards and how critical that is to establishing and keeping possession. I think that is something we're going to have to really pay attention to see if they can hold that ball up in light of the pressure of the Carolina defense.
They'll drop the ball in the 18-yard box for Kate Parks, who just picks it up. And Sporting JAX will try to build out of the back. Mackenzie George, who scored 3 goals in the regular season, gets one here in the playoffs. Here's Bowman. Out wide for Boyan. Abby Boyan, former Georgia Bulldog. Now Illig coming forward from her backline position. Out wide for Meg Hughes. Hughes sends one in. Headed by Kenton. Hughes gets to it in time to keep it in. Huerta a little chip, and it's handled by Sydney Martinez. Creative little chip by Huerta, and Sporting JAX able to keep it alive but not convert.
That's a good response, though, and really good work by keeping that ball in bounds, giving Huerta that opportunity to even get a shot on goal.
Sporting JAX looking to build something from the back here. Both of these teams talked about how well they got along in and out of the dressing room. Certainly helps when you're winning, but not all winning teams have that kind of continuity and relate so well to one another. And it's much different when we talk about a young Sporting JAX team, most of whom are basically fresh out of college, and a Carolina team that has a much older roster.
And they talked a lot about the ability to hang out with each other at Carolina, you know, whether it's birthday parties. I think they had a recent small bachelorette party, but it's pretty cool to see the cohesion that this team has had over the past 2 years.
Try a long ball for Kenton. She's there battling for it, along with Jenna Butler, and it'll be a throw for Jacksonville. Well, let's check in for more on that story with Emerson Burris.
This week, this run is not about revenge or unfinished business from last season's postseason exit. Poole admitted that loss stung last year, but he said the group learned from it and moved on. He told us championship teams aren't defined by never losing. They're defined by consistency, and he believes this Carolina team has found that identity during the second half of this season.
Emerson, thank you. Yeah, one of the things that I really thought when this matchup was set was the storylines would be about unfinished business. For Sporting JAX, unfinished business because they went down to the last game of the season without getting the Players' Shield. And for Carolina, they were the Players' Shield winners last year and lost out on the semifinal matchup with Fort Lauderdale. So I was surprised when Philip Poole said, "Nope, we've put that in the past. Not feeding on it, doesn't matter at all."
I think that's a pretty mature approach by Philip Poole, because ultimately that game last year has no bearing on this team's season, or particularly in this game. And for him to stay present with what's going on right now with this group, I think shows a lot of confidence in the group that he has.
Here is another set piece from a further distance for Mia Corbin. She sends one in, headed up in the air, cleared out by Meg Hughes. Sporting JAX handles that pressure, and a chance for a counter here. Bowman ahead for Bailey DeSmit. DeSmit has Huerta to her inside. Huerta little 1-2. DeSmit couldn't get a clean foot to it. Then Huerta's shot wide of the net. Huerta has been very active in the attack here in the early going. We saw her be very aggressive in the first half of the season when she scored 10 goals. Scored just 2 in the second half, but saw her assist total rise to 7. She was more of a facilitator in the second half of the season. You wonder if maybe the switch flips back this time.
Well, it's good to see her getting a lot of touches in a dangerous part of the field for Sporting JAX. That's where they need her to get the ball. So already in this game, she's had an impact in that space.
Sydney Martinez sends a low ball forward. Jenna Butler comes back for it. Martinez, the Carolina keeper, spent some time here in Jacksonville, played for the Jacksonville Armada ECNL team. And some of the Sporting Jax supporters have taken to cheering her a bit.
Good sportsmanship.
Yep. Quick throw, Boyan into Maggie Illig. Illig crosses to Grace Philpotts. Parks put under a bit of pressure. Smith. Now Kenton. There's that holdup we talked about, and a misfire on the pass.
Yeah, good example from both of those strikers in terms of being able to hold the ball up. A little bit of a misplay at the end there, but that's a good sign if they can hold up under the pressure of the Carolina defense.
Long ball over the top of Georgia Brown, bounces into the breadbasket of Caitlin Parks. Well, one of the things that we have seen from Sporting Jax as well is there will be strings when nothing is quite connecting, and then all of a sudden you see a flash of brilliance. This is a team that loves to pass the ball, one of the most effective passing teams in the league.
Yeah, their ability to connect is really important. And also have a little bit of bite, as we see right here in this replay.
Wayne got her foot to the ball about the same time as Butler got there. Boyan's addition in midseason has given Sporting Jax a little more steel on that side. They're playing without Julia Lester, one of the tougher players on the team. She has an ankle injury. They hope she would be able to play in the finals on Saturday if Sporting Jax were to get there. But for now, she is left off the team sheet. Try to play it wide. Tyler Lucy on that left wing. Didn't make a run. But what an impact Lucy has had for this Carolina team. 11 appearances, 4 goals, 3 of them game winners. Former Portland Thorn, Angel City, and North Carolina Courage player. Here's Puerta playing one out wide for Meg Hughes on the run. Hughes accelerating into the box and wins a corner for Sporting Jax. You see Hughes with that speed down that left side, with or without the ball. She could really motor.
Yeah, she got in behind on the long touch and kind of just got away from her a little bit in terms of reaching for that ball, but to get the deflection, create the first set piece for Sporting Jax. This is going to be a little bit of an interesting idea because creativity in the set pieces has been really a strength for Sporting Jax.
Sophia Bowman will send this one. It's a Sporting Jax corner presented by Sunbelt Rentals, in your corner for all your equipment rental needs. And this one is punched away by Martinez and cleared out to the halfway line. Select is the official match ball supplier of the Gainbridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Sporting Jax again on the attack. Puerta tried to curl one around. It was deflected, and it will be a corner kick. Second in the last minute for the home side.
Yeah, it's been a good response for Sporting Jax here from the goal. Seems like most of the play has taken in this half. And for Sporting Jax to get a couple of set-piece opportunities here is a good response.
Here's Bowman, who takes corners with both the right and left foot. She'll look for an in-swinger from the left foot here. Bowman, here's a header, and handled by Martinez. So talk about set-piece creativity. There's a little wrinkle for Sporting Jax.
Yeah, they're going to need a little bit of creativity on these set pieces because Martinez is quite a force. She comes out and has a presence for sure on any set piece. So being able to have a little trickery, I think, can really help Sporting Jax in that department.
6-foot-tall keeper. Played her college soccer for Denise Schulte Brown at USF. Illig under some pressure. Back to Georgia Brown. Kenton had a player on her back, able to handle it. And now here's a ball that gets loose, and it just has to be sent away by Kate Parks. That is a dangerous moment for Sporting JAX.
Well, Kate Parks is so good with her feet. She's opening up to play offense. The ball gets through, and now she's having to scramble back a little bit, but she did a good job of managing that one.
Aguilera lining up for the throw for Carolina Ascent. Sophie Jones tried to clear it out. Corbin kept it in. Now Nabet. Out wide for Addison Merrick. And Merrick can't control it. It's out for a Sporting JAX goal kick. The winner here moves on to Saturday's Gainbridge Super League final in Lexington.
Thought we might see a little bit of direct play when Georgia lined up to take that goal kick, but she goes short, and this is Sporting JAX identity.
Hughes sends one forward. Carolina, Durrington sends it back, and then Illig assists it back to the feet of Kate Parks. Boyan battling for it along with Lily Nabet. Nabet is not at all afraid of getting her body in there. Former Duke Blue Devil teammate of Sporting JAX captain Sophie Jones. Nabet started the season with Fort Lauderdale, then joined Carolina. Here's DeSmit. It back to Grace Philpotts. Little 1-2 with Meg Hughes. Now Bowman. Illig. Bowman with Mackenzie George bearing down on her, and all she could do was grab, and there's a Carolina player down on the far side of the pitch. Looks to be Shea Groom. While they tend to groom, let's check in once again with Emerson Burris.
Well, guys, one thing Sporting JAX players kept repeating this week was at the end of the day, it's still just soccer. The group said there's no need to overcomplicate the moment or let pressure become overwhelming. Instead, the focus has been sticking to the same identity and style of play that has helped this expansion team become one of the top teams in the league in its inaugural season.
That's what they intend to do. There has been a time or two we've seen where they've adapted their tactics based on what's happened on the pitch or with injuries, but for the most part, they have played the way they have wanted to play just about all season long, and that is a real tribute to not only the coaching of Stacey Balaam and her staff, but also the players' willingness to play that way and succeed with that style.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they have been very true to their identity for the most part all season long. And why wouldn't you? You know, you've seen such positive reinforcement for that.
Carolina stays with a high line here, trying to press Jacksonville. As of the moment right now, Jacksonville has maintained 61% possession in this game. Now a push from the bet from behind.
It's an impressive number this early in the match, but, you know, Phillip Poole, I don't think we'll be too worried about that. They've been a team that has conceded possession and have been able to counter and basically press out of losing possession. So this is a team that is very comfortable not feeling like they have to have the majority of the ball to be successful.
Sporting JAX to this point has had a couple of opportunities, but the shape defensively of Carolina has been able to maintain the ball in the middle third. So Sporting JAX is going to have to find a way over, around, or through to try to equalize here.
Yeah, I think for Sporting JAX it comes down again to getting in position to be a good option for people so that they can keep possession longer. The longer they have possession, the more dangerous they become.
Misfire on the throw there. Comes into Corbin. Now Nabet. Aguilera. Swings it wide to Lucy. Now Carolina will try to improve on those possession numbers for the moment. Here's Corbin, top of the D. Tried to roll one through, wide of the goal. Was it deflected? It was. It'll be a corner kick for Carolina.
You got to be impressed by the versatility of both Nabet and Corbin to really switch places in the midfield. You normally think of Corbin as holding a little bit more, but either one of them can do the offensive job or the defensive job.
Now you talk about versatility. That really is one of the key words for Philip Poole's side as well. He doesn't have a 10 or 12 goal scorer. He's got a bunch of players who've scored 3-4 goals and then played great defense. And this one, saved by Parks. Another set piece that brought some danger from Carolina.
I think that one was saved by Parks and the crossbar.
This one deflected out front. Boyan runs into it. Carolina remains on the attack. In the middle portion of this first 45, Carolina right now with a 1-goal lead and really starting to dictate the game. Here's Corbin. Shot blocked by Georgia Brown and set away by Maggie Illick. Let's take a look at that previous set piece and see if Parks got a hand on it. Oh, well, it did. It looked like crossbar, then Parks.
I'm sure Sporting JAX will take all the help they can get on these set pieces because certainly it's one of Carolina's superpowers. They are really, really efficient in their set piece game.
This one rolling through. And another corner coming for Carolina. Well, in addition to how good they are attacking with set pieces, they've defended set pieces well. They've only conceded 4 goals off set pieces. 1 was a penalty kick, 1 was a spot kick, and 2 corners this year. So that's an area that Carolina has worked at and succeeded in throughout the course of this Gainbridge Super League season.
Carolina just has a lot of offensive threats when you look at them from a set piece perspective. They've got some height, they've got some aggressiveness, and certainly it all comes down to quality service.
Corbin to serve this one in. And Parks rises to grab it with both hands.
Saved by Parks.
It's good to see Parks come out and really take charge of her box there because this is something that, you know, sets the tone, and certainly Carolina's been trying to set the tone on their danger, and for her to be able to come out and take that very cleanly sends a message too.
Sporting JAX trying to find a way through Carolina right now. Played out wide. Bowman on the run. Ahead for Abby Boyan. Boyan has Kenton in the middle of the park. Tries to pick her out over the top. Hughes runs onto it for Sporting JAX. Meg Hughes into the box and sent up and away by Jenna Butler. It'll be a corner kick for Sporting JAX.
We're going to trade set pieces here. We've got balls put in the box right inside the 6 versus creativity on the Sporting JAX side. So we'll see which one wins out.
6'2" is Georgia Brown coming forward from her center back spot. She's in the area as well. Bowman to take the corner. The former Gopher from Minnesota. Headed once by Sophie Jones, again by Georgia Brown, then a foul whistled on Jacksonville. The look.
And there was a little push in the back, but maybe a little bit of embellishment as well.
Approaching the half-hour mark. Carolina Ascent with a 6-minute goal from Mackenzie George. On top of Sporting JAX. Once again, the winner of this one advances to the Gainbridge Super League Finals on Saturday in Lexington against Lexington SC. There's Philpotts with some open room in front of her. He's Philpotts on the run. Now to Puerta. Between two Carolina defenders. Puerta, who had a hat trick in the first visit to Charlotte for Sporting JAX. Now Meg Hughes drops it down for Philpotts. Set out by Carolina. It'll be a throw for Sporting JAX.
Promising build-up for Sporting JAX there. Kind of slowed down the tempo, which sort of got them a little bit out of kilter in terms of their possession.
Hughes sends it inside. Nobody was there, but sent away by Carolina.
One of the things that's easy to see is how compact Carolina stays defensively. They do a really good job of not having a ton of space between their lines.
There's Boyan out wide. Abby Boyan swings one in right out in front, deflected off a Carolina player. It'll be a corner kick for Jacksonville. Another look at that service from Abby Boyan.
Puts the ball in a dangerous position, and that's all you can ask for when you serve into that space.
And once again, corner kick to be taken by Sophia Bowman for Sporting JAX. Bowman sends it in. Nodded away, kept in by Sophie Jones, and Jones' shot didn't have much behind it, and right into the hands of Sydney Martinez. So once again, and now a stoppage in play. And that will give us a chance to let you know that the winner of this game will face Lexington SC in the Gainbridge Super League Finals Saturday, May 30th, this coming Saturday. It'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll find out as a result of this one whether it will be Jacksonville or Carolina making the trek up to the Bluegrass State. Martinez with a long boot, and it bounces right to her opposite number. Parks will pick it up as we crest the half-hour mark. Becky, what do you make of the opening 30 minutes?
You know, it's been interesting. I'm not sure I expected to see this many set pieces between the two. You can go a whole match and not see this many, and we've seen quite a few. And it's not surprised to me that Carolina has the edge in that, because that is something that they are very, very good at. I think Sporting JAX has got to find a little bit more sustained possession if they want to build the attack like they truly do in terms of their identity. And Carolina is just happy to counter out of that, stay compact, and be a transition team, which they're very effective at.
Sporting JAX will send it all the way back to the center back, Georgia Brown, to restart things. Now here's Puerta. Ashlyn Puerta playing it wide. Meg Hughes on the run. Hughes, the left footer, sent back out. Collected by Bowman. Sent to Hughes again. Meg Hughes to the back post. Boyan with a header. Didn't get the right angle on it. Deflected wide. But once again, you see Sporting JAX. That's their identity. Creativity, a lot of passes. Try to create some opportunities.
Yeah, and it's really an interesting discernment here, because when is there one more pass which is going to unlock it, and when is there, hey, we got to take some half chances here too, because they've got a lot of numbers back for Carolina. Deflections, crosses that are in dangerous positions, all of that could be also part of the way to unlock this Carolina defense.
Martinez sends one well ahead, off the head of Paige Kenton. It'll be a throw for Carolina. This will be trite to say, but I'll say it anyway. The next goal is going to be massive, one way or another.
I think you're absolutely right about that. It either puts a team up 2-0 or evens things up, and that changes everything both ways.
Aguilera trying to move past Boyan. Got a hand on her. Free kick coming.
That's when that experience shows a pro who takes a little bit of contact and turns it into a very dangerous set piece.
Aguilera, 28 years old, was the Golden Playmaker last season in the Gainbridge Super League. This season, that honor went to Ashlyn Puerta. Corbin will take this corner, or this set piece, rather, for Carolina. Corbin elevates it, headed away once, and a foul whistled on Carolina. The Gainbridge Super League playoffs are officially underway. You can stay up to date on all the latest information, analysis, and insight by visiting GainbridgeSuperLeague.com. He thinks that website will get some traffic this week. As Bailey DeSmit crashed into. And they're going to whistle DeSmit for the foul.
Yeah, the crowd not happy about that one. And it was an interesting collision by both of them. Take a look at it here.
Megan Nally, the Carolina player. I mean, I don't know how that's if there's anything that DeSmit can do with that. And that's the argument that Bailey's making.
And the crowd.
Matt Thompson, the referee, is hearing it from every direction. Whatever he said didn't seem to land with Bailey DeSmit. But his word is law, so here we go. 35th minute. Sporting JAX down a goal to none on a Mackenzie George 6th minute goal for Carolina. Sophie Jones gets ahead to it. Ahead to Paige Kenton. Grace Philpotts tries to target DeSmit. DeSmit running. A lot of contact there. And again, DeSmit called for the foul.
You would hope that's not a residual of DeSmit complaining about the last call, but as the moments tick by in this first half, she probably needs to make sure that she stays a little bit calmer in terms of we do not need a yellow card for either team at any point in this game, and certainly that's a possibility.
Nice bit of skill by Puerta to keep that one in the area. But Carolina comes away with it. Philpotts over to defend for Sporting JAX. It'll be a throw in for the home side. There is a ball played down the line for Bowman. Sophia Bowman. 6 goals, 7 assists this season for Bowman, and nearly incalculable miles run during games. She is the energizer of this Sporting JAX team when you talk about the land she covers. DeSmit now out wide for Meg Hughes. Back to Grace Philpotts. Carolina's defensive shape has been steady and impressive in this first half.
And compact and disciplined. There's no doubt about that.
chasing back on that one as Tyler Lucy ran after it for Carolina. Now a little bit of press being applied by Phillip Poole's side. Header over the top. Boyan chasing after it. Aguilera is there. Kept in by Puerta. DeSmit, who tried to connect with Boyan. Just had the wrong foot out there.
And it's just not often that you see Carolina give up a lot of transition, which is fine because for Sporting JAX they would prefer to build anyway. But I think that the compactness of their defense for Carolina has given Sporting JAX a little bit of an issue.
Boyan, Sophie Jones, back to Maggie Illig. Georgia Brown. One of the things we talk about with Sporting JAX and the roster build, the first two players announced as signing with the team when they started putting together the first roster were Ashlyn Puerta and Georgia Brown. And they have been two stalwarts of this expansion side. One attacking in Puerta, the other on the back line with Georgia Brown. Both have played internationally. Puerta for the U20 and U19s, and Georgia Brown for Scotland, both the U23s and now the senior national team.
Yeah, both key figures in this first-year team, and you'd love to see the vision come to fruition when you see two players that you signed first become such important players in the building of this group.
Carolina looking for a whistle there, didn't get it. On this warm day in Jacksonville, the semifinals in the Gainbridge Super League. The home side down a goal as we approach the final 5 minutes of the first half. Lucy battling with Bowman, and it'll be a Sporting JAX throw. There's the 31-year-old Tyler Lucy. And Sophia Bowman, who last year at this time was wrapping up things for the University of Minnesota.
Well, you've got a 31-year-old Tyler Lucy. You've got a 33-year-old Shea Groom. Between the two of them, like over 300 NWSL appearances. That's some experience, and there's no doubt that that's paying off a little bit for Carolina at this point.
Boyan, who has some NWSL experience with Utah Royals. One of the few players on the Sporting JAX side to have domestic pro experience. Sophie Jones also was a draft pick of Chicago Red Stars. Here's Sophie. Illig. And a throw coming for Jacksonville. Riley Parker keeping it. Now here's Lucy. Since that goal, aside from set pieces, Sporting JAX defense has been very solid as well. This has been a game that both sides certainly taking their opportunities. Boyan out wide. Bumped by Lucy. And a throw coming for Sporting JAX.
Is it a throw or is it a kick? We're not. Well, it looks like it's going to be a free kick.
No, they are giving a free kick. It's a delayed whistle there.
And this is a dangerous free kick for Sporting JAX. Be interesting to see what they can do with this opportunity late in the half.
We got Bowman and Meg Hughes. Hughes a left footer. Bowman can use either foot. Bowman runs over it. Hughes Swings one to the top of the 6-yard box. Handled well by Sydney Martinez for Carolina.
Stacey Balaam mentioned that they did a lot of work out of possession this week, and you can see it. The organization, you mentioned it earlier, Cole, but there has been a lot of good discipline and cohesion amongst the back line and the players in front of the back line for Sporting Jacks this half.
Here's Illig. She goes down. Mackenzie George with the ball now for Carolina. Back for Aguilera. Nabet. Back to George, the goal scorer. Sent one in and returned by Georgia Brown. Good crowd here at Hodges Stadium in Jacksonville. A lot of fans, a lot of family of players also making the trek. I understand that Abby Boyan's family is here. I know Ashley Puerta's family here. A number of purple jerseys from Carolina have made the way down from Charlotte as well. Good to see the continued growth of the game here in the postseason. So headed away. Corbin can't connect to anybody. She's back on it again. Nally. Jenna Butler. Out wide now. Addison Merrick. Taken away by Meg Hughes. Hughes sends one forward. Bailey to Smith trying to get on a run. 1v3. Bailey to Smith. And this one is going to be stopped before it rolls out for a corner. We're hearing there will be 1 minute of stoppage time added here to this first half. Sporting Jacks trying to find an equalizer here at the end of the half. They've been chasing a goal since the 6th minute, and there's Corbin grabbing all over Ashlyn Puerta, grabbed her hair. That's got to be a yellow card, and it is.
It was a great turn by Puerta, and Corbin really couldn't do anything about it except foul her. And I think she looked at the time that was left and was like, we're not going to let this be a transition.
A little surprised considering how far from the goal she was, but tactically she made the decision and gets the card for it.
And once again, I'd say Carolina does not allow a lot of transition. Puerto was about to go in transition right there, and we saw that stopped in its tracks.
Georgia Brown will restart for Sporting Jacks. Here's Philpotts. Ahead into the box.
The clock is past 45 minutes of regular play, and the official time is now being kept on the referee.
Bet steps in front of it for Carolina and sends it back out. Time for maybe one more charge for Sporting Jacks here before the halftime interval. Parks. Little flick on header, headed back by Aguilera. Again by Sophie Jones. Collected by DeSmit. Now Philpotts coming forward. Out wide for Meg Hughes. Nice little 1-2. Tried to get it to Puerta. Butler stepped in front of it for Carolina and spoils this one out. Will there be enough time for another action here? Puerta, Georgia Brown. One touch to DeSmit. DeSmit rolled it along the ground, covered by Sydney Martinez. And that is how the first half ends. Carolina, with a 6-minute goal from Mackenzie George, is 45 minutes away from the Gainbridge Super League Final. Sporting Jacks will have to battle back in the second half at home against this very stout Ascent defense. Becky Burley, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, Sporting Jacks ended it on a high note there. I thought they had great numbers in the box. They had some great opportunities towards the end here. And again, I think you mentioned it. Besides the set pieces, Carolina hasn't been exceptionally dangerous, and so I think that's got to be a key factor going into the second half for Sporting JAX is limit set pieces and find a way to continue to put the pressure on offensively.
Well, the one goal was scored in the run of play by Mackenzie George, who is standing by now with Emerson.
Mackenzie, you guys got the early goal and have held that lead so far in the first half. What did you see on that play?
Well, obviously I won the ball and I saw a lot of space in one defender, and I had Parksy coming around the side, so I was like, go! And she was going, and she's fast as heck, man. So I was like, oh, it's us against the world, you know? And then she did exactly what we planned, and, you know, the rest was a goal.
These two teams are very familiar with each other. How do you guys keep the momentum and the edge going into the second half?
You know, we want it. We want it a lot. We have a lot of grit, and we have it. We didn't get the chance to fight for the shield, so we want this bad, and we want it more than anyone, and I think we just have that chip on our shoulder a little bit.
Mackenzie, thanks for the time.
Thank you so much.
Guys.
All right, thank you, Emerson. Sporting JAX 0. Carolina Ascent 1. Halftime at Hodges Stadium in Jacksonville. In the Gainbridge Super League semifinals. Back to take a look at the rest of the playoff picture and a closer look at this one straight ahead from Hodges Stadium.
Sporting JAX jump out in front. Unbelievable! Lexington in double.
10 matches in a row without defeat. Carolina, dare I say, are ascending.
Dallas Trinity clinches the fourth and final playoff spot.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
Prinks tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks tires will be there for the long haul.
All right, Chunky Punky, you're gonna love these jammies I just got for you. I just got cash back on all of this makeup.
You know we can use Price.com in store?
I just grabbed those shoes I've been eyeing.
Can't forget our protein powder.
Just a little something for you, babe.
You win.
At ViStar Credit Union, we know life's a journey. Birthday parties turn to wedding parties. There are first steps and missteps. Just know ViStar is there with banking made for moments big and small. A home where a family grows, or that convertible for the open road. It's a journey we are on together. It's why we support hundreds of local nonprofits, volunteer throughout the Southeast, and simply care. ViStar Credit Union. Do good. Bank better.
For more than 150 years, Ascension St. Vincent's has delivered award-winning compassionate care across Northeast Florida with 4 hospitals, primary care offices, urgent care centers, and freestanding emergency departments throughout the region. From everyday wellness to advanced specialty care, including heart, cancer, orthopedics, brain and spine surgery, and women's health, we're here for you when you need us most. Get the care you count on, close to home. Learn more at ascension.org/St. Vincent's. Halftime in Jacksonville. Carolina Ascent a 1-0 lead over the home side in the Gainbridge Super League semifinals. Time for the halftime show presented by Ascension St. Vincent's. And let's take a look at the highlights presented by Sports Data Analytics Lab. The dinosaur races at halftime here in Jacksonville. They've become a tradition. Haven't seen a dinosaur with pink sleeves before. Back with more at Hodges Stadium in the Gainbridge Super League semifinals. Back at halftime, 1-0 Carolina Ascent leading Sporting JAX at Hodges Stadium in Jacksonville in this Gainbridge Super League semifinal. Along with the former national championship winning head coach Becky Burley, Cole Pepper here with you in the booth. Becky, let's take a big picture look at what we've seen so far in the playoffs here in the second season of the Gainbridge Super League. I think as the season has gone on, we've noted better play from a year ago and certainly competitive postseason. That's been pretty obvious here in this game as well as in the opener. Yeah, even the lead up into the playoffs. I mean, it was such a tight table, and you can see why, because the teams that have been in these playoff positions have been so good at what they do. Well, yesterday we saw Lexington SC get the win at home, the Players' Shield winners for this season. Got a goal from Sarah Griffith just before halftime and one from Kat Berry after halftime to get the win and advance to the Gainbridge Super League Finals. This was a team, Becky, that last year was at the bottom of the table. They spent very strategically during the offseason, brought in some big names, some of whom are no longer with the club, including Amina Ekic, who's been sold on. But this is a side that really turned from one year to the next in a hurry. Well, absolutely, and I think part of the credit's got to go to Kat Berry. She's doing Kat Berry things in that final, scoring. When you know you can score like that, it really takes a lot of pressure off the rest of your team. And we'll see if Kat Berry, the league's Golden Boot winner, can get it done in the finals on Saturday. It'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff in Lexington. One of these two sides, Sporting JAX or Carolina Ascent, will have to travel to Lexington to play for the hardware. Again, a 7 o'clock kickoff on Peacock in the Gainbridge Super League Finals. More to come from halftime here at Hodges Stadium in Jacksonville. Sporting JAX looking to find that equalizer. Carolina looking to put it away in the second 45. Finals in the Gainbridge Super League are presented by VyStar Credit Union, the University of North Florida, Dogtopia Jacksonville Beach Boulevard, Pepsi, and Gatorade. There is the goal scorer from the first half. Mackenzie George scored in the 6th minute to give Carolina the 1-0 lead. That's where it stands as Sporting JAX gets set to kick off. Have to give credit to Carolina's defensive core in that first half, Becky Burley. The center backs, Megan Nally and Jenna Butler, and the holding mids, Lily Nabet and Mia Corbin, really helped control the game.
Yeah, they've set the tone for sure, and I think that's something that Sporting JAX has got to try to find a way in. There's 3 versus 2 in the middle of midfield for them, so the combination of Puerta, Jones, and Bowman have got to find a way to outnumber those and start to have a little bit more attack into that defense.
Both teams starting with the same 11s on either side. Sporting JAX tried to kick it out near the flag. It went out for a goal kick, and so Sydney Martinez will send it back the other way for Carolina Ascent. High bouncer headed by Sophie Jones. Jones hits the second ball. Now Philpotts. Jones again. Now Ashlyn Puerta. Puerta here in the opening minute trying to create something for Sporting JAX. A little side foot flick Didn't connect with Hughes, but it comes back to Philpotts. Now Puerta, as the bet falls down, gets back up. Puerta at it, intercepted by Mia Corbin. Once again, one of those central four we talk about with Carolina making the play, Mia Corbin.
Yeah, super set, compact defense by Carolina there. Maybe the idea there would be to swing it around and start again, just to be able to give a little bit more space.
Now a giveaway and a run out here by Shea Groom. Groom, who scored against Sporting JAX last week, lays one off. Tyler Lucy on it. Marked there by Illig. And then booted away for a Carolina throw near the flag.
Lucy's a tough player to mark. She's really resilient in that space over there. Like you think you've got her kind of pinned in, and all of a sudden she finds a way out.
This one sent away by Meg Hughes. Bailey DeSmit with a chance here. DeSmit with two defenders back for Carolina. Bailey DeSmit into the box, put it on the ground, saved by Martinez, and swung away for a throw for Sporting JAX. Long run by DeSmit to create something.
Long run, but exactly what we've been talking about. When you can catch them in transition, they're not in a set defense. That's when they're most vulnerable.
It's Philpotts. Meg Hughes. Hughes swings one in toward the spot. Booted but not away. And it'll be tracked down by Georgia Brown for Sporting JAX. Out wide to Abby Boyan. Scored her first goal for Sporting JAX last week against Carolina in Charlotte. Philpotts comes to it with space in front. Tips one in. Back post. DeSmit. Oh, she had it opening. Sporting JAX wanting a foul. DeSmit is down in the 6-yard box. Meg Hughes arguing for a call. All kinds of things happening in that moment. Let's show you a couple of moments here. First, this was DeSmit on the earlier run out. Good save by Martinez there. And then a moment ago, DeSmit at the back post. Hit from behind as she came down off trying to deliver that shot. She's back up now, as you see. Sophie Jones is having a long conversation with the referee, Matt Thompson.
You could argue that foul occurred after she got her shot off, and maybe that's why he allowed continuation. But there's no doubt that was pretty heavy contact.
So all parties have returned to their spots. Still 1-0 Carolina, but the second half is opened with a bang. Philpotts tried to get it to DeSmit. It falls. Bowman. Jones popped it off a Carolina player for a throw.
You can just feel a little bit more urgency from the Sporting JAX side here, whether it's going in for tackles, getting an opening, and just like looking to find the opening and go for it rather than just continue to probe.
Here's Groom on a run out on a counter, 1v3. Sends it out wide for Tyler Lucy. A couple of 30-something stars trying to develop something for Carolina. Sophie Jones stepped in front of that one from Mia Corbin. Now Boyan will try to carry it forward for Sporting JAX. Carolina continues to pester Jacksonville, trying to make it more difficult for them to build out, and finally Parks just boots one the length of the field. I think you're right about the sense of urgency from Sporting JAX. There's a fine balance, isn't it, of urgency and panic. Not nearly to a point of panic here, just in the 51st minute.
Yeah, and you've got to pay attention to that urgency too, because what you don't want to do is leave yourself exposed and have Shea Groom or Mackenzie George running at the back line.
This one over the top. Georgia Brown wins the race to it. Sporting JAX with 3 shots here in the opening 5 minutes of the half. Carolina yet to release one. Corbin. Back to Nally. Carolina will be very diligent in waiting for an opening. Sporting JAX now deploying a little more of a high press from the forwards to Smith and Kenton, and it creates a turnover. Boyan. Here's Paige Kenton. 10-goal scorer this season. Kenton wins the corner for Sporting JAX. Kenton's assist numbers have been very good in the second half, but it's been a little slower in terms of the goal rate that we've seen from her. She'd love to get one here and equalize.
You know, Philip Poole talked about Mackenzie George being one of the best defenders on their team despite being a forward. You could argue Paige Kenton is the same for Sporting JAX.
Here's Bowman going short with it to Meg Hughes. Back to Bowman. Sending it to the back post. Georgia Brown there, but it was a little too deep for Georgia to get her head to it in a good position.
I like the idea that Sporting JAX has with the short set pieces because it brings the ball out a little bit and creates a little bit of space between Martinez and the rest of the back line. It's a space that hopefully they can exploit. I think they were trying to do that with Georgia Brown, just a little bit too deep on that one.
This goal kick from Martinez went awry. Quick throw for Sporting JAX. Sophie Jones again will play it out wide for Abby Boyan. DeSmit making a run in the box. Can't get there before it rolls out. It's been a step or two for Sporting JAX away from creating some very good opportunities, but they just haven't quite been on the same page.
Yeah, I think you got to play a little bit being aware of the wind. There's a wind that's sort of crossfield but going up and down a little bit too. And I think some of those balls that are trying to play through might need to have a little bit taken off of them in the second half.
The wind is largely blowing from the far side to the near. You see the flag there blowing back toward the benches. Illig. Sporting JAX will try to build something here. And another errant pass and a breakaway opportunity for Carolina. Carolina Ascent. Shot saved by Caitlin Parks.
That was good patient defending there by Georgia Brown. If you watch, she doesn't commit, and it allows Caitlin Park to just be able to know that that ball's coming near post.
Riley Parker, who had the shot, first of the half for Carolina. Here's Parker again. A throw in for Carolina. Comes into George. Aguilera lines one up and covered by Parks.
Certainly don't want to give her an open look at the goal. As an attacking left back, she's been so dangerous.
She comes back to win the second ball for Carolina. Now Lucy. This one goes right through, and it'll be a throw for Sporting JAX. We will see if substitutions become a factor in this game. Sporting JAX does have some attacking players to bring in. If they were to equalize, you might see a veteran in Parker Roberts come in. This is a position Sporting JAX has been in before this year. But as we've mentioned, typically this is a team that likes to play from ahead.
And who doesn't? But you're right.
Excellent point.
They have. I mean, they have been able to equalize late. They have been able to play from behind. But certainly, who wouldn't want to be in Carolina's spot right now?
High bouncer. Martinez comes off her line to grab it. Just in terms of the intensity and the pace with which these two teams are playing right now, you can see Carolina, measured, deliberate, trying to slow the game down a bit. Sporting JAX, a little more of an edge than we saw through most of the first half. They know what they have to do to keep the season alive.
Yeah, and there's definitely a fine line, right? Because you don't want to be Carolina either, where you're playing to not lose or to not concede. And so they've got to keep up their intensity just to match the urgency that Sporting JAX has brought to this second half.
Throw to the corner flag for George. Sophie Jones intercepts for Sporting JAX. And another throw coming for Carolina. George again. Swings one in front of the goal. Sent away, but not out. Then deflected out deeper. And that was a moment for Carolina.
Yeah, second big block shot for Georgia Brown. That's something she takes a lot of pride in, and you can certainly see why.
This one spins back toward Caitlin Parks for Sporting JAX. Take a look at Georgia Brown. Putting her body in the way. She's had quite a run over the last year and a half or so. She was the USLW League Defender of the Year and then signed her pro contract with Sporting JAX. She was named the Defender of the first half of the year in the Gainbridge Super League. And has continued to play very well on the back line for Sporting JAX. Here's the ball over the top. Got a little too much on it. Bailey DeSmit couldn't get there before Sydney Martinez was able to handle it.
You got to look like how Bailey DeSmit is like lurking on that back line, though, and trying to see if she can catch them a little bit asleep to find a little bit of space over the top.
Here's Tyler Lucy down the left wing. Lucy, no danger there as Parks goes over to grab it. We're going to be with you every step of the way through the Gainbridge Super League playoffs. You can also visit GainbridgeSuperLeague.com/newsletter to get updates on your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered directly to your inbox. The throw for Carolina as we approach the hour mark. Changing the point, and this one will be out for a Jacksonville throw. Looks like we'll see a substitution coming for Sporting JAX here shortly. Parker Roberts is taken off the penny. This will be a big moment for Sporting JAX and for Parker Roberts, who had an ACL injury in August. 6.5 months later, returned to play. Now she's going to be subbed on for the playoffs. Here's Bailey DeSmit. DeSmit from outside the box drilled one right into a Carolina player. Huerta's got it. Now Bowman. Bowman tried to hook one in. Easily covered by Sydney Martinez. Take a look here. DeSmit, who Stacey Balaam says has the hardest shot on the team. And at least one Carolina defender may be able to vouch for that after that shot.
Yeah, it's another great block shot opportunity.
Here's Boyan on a run. Abby Boyan, her shot blocked. And a throw in coming for Sporting JAX, but not before Parker Roberts will come in and replace Boyan. Now an interesting move here, how they will manage who plays where. Well, they're going to bring looks like Grace Philpotts is going to go out to a wing position, wing-back position. And Boyan comes off. She was playing the right wing-back, so we'll see how things shift here for Sporting JAX with their formation. Roberts, typically a center back or holding mid.
Certainly a role that she's used to and can provide a little bit of defensive security there. And I think Philpotts can get more into this attack. She's a dangerous player going forward.
This one bounces over Sophie Jones. Jones again. Swings one in. Nobody there to intercept it except for Sydney Martinez. Here's Illig. So it looks like they've moved Philpotts to a left wing position. And there will be a couple of Carolina subs coming in. Taylor Porter comes in for Mia Corbin. And Audrey Coleman
Not really surprised with these two substitutions for Carolina. Both of these players are pretty accomplished players. You know, Porter has led the team in interceptions and tackles. Coleman has been terrific in the assist department. So two very competent subs coming on for Carolina.
So both sides making changes near the hour mark. Coleman coming on for Riley Parker, who was effective, got the assist on the goal and created some other opportunities for Carolina. They're on to try to see if they can see it out over the last 30 minutes. Here's a through ball that doesn't connect to anyone. It'll be a goal kick for Sporting JAX. Just getting back to the Sporting JAX change of tactics. Meg Hughes, who usually plays as a left wing back, has gone to the right wing back position, swapping where Abby Boyan was. And Grace Philpotts, usually a left center back, has gone to the left wing back position. Here's Roberts clearing one up ahead. Kenton rising. Booted back in. Roberts heads it forward. Right to the feet of Bailey DeSmit. But Lily Nabet there to intercept for Carolina.
I don't think that's a bad move for Sporting JAX. It gives them some athleticism out wide. You know, you would hope that they could exploit the wide areas, especially if those two central players are going to take away so much of the center ability for possession for Sporting JAX. So we'll see what that change brings.
Also going to be interesting, Hughes, primarily a left-footed player, playing on the right side. If she'll get an opportunity to cut inside and create that way. Grace Philpotts heads one out for a Carolina throw. Quickly in. And off Tyler Lucy. This should be a Jacksonville throw. Oh, but they say Carolina instead. Gave it to Carolina. Parker Roberts back, bodying up on Mackenzie George. And a throw coming for Carolina here in the 65th minute.
Feels like neither team has really been able to sustain any kind of rhythm in the last few minutes here.
Throw into the box. George battling there with Philpotts. Play it all the way back. Carolina does not have to be overly ambitious here if they don't want to be. Here's Merrick coming up on the wing. And this one out for a Carolina corner. Well, that's exactly what Philip Poole would probably tell you he'd like to see happening. Setting his team up for set pieces. They've been so good. Corbin, who had been taking them, is out of the game.
And it takes a little bit of time off the clock, too, which I'm sure is something that Carolina is very aware of.
Every minute that goes by, more and more, it becomes the ally of Carolina. Here's Aguilera to take the corner from the same side as she scored against Jacksonville last week. Will she go for the Olympico again? No, not this time. Along the ground. Huerta tripped up. And the foul called on Carolina. Nabet went with the slide tackle. clipped Puerta on the way. Parker Roberts sends it back to Caitlin Parks. Roberts, a former Florida Gator, former member of Orlando Pride. We've detailed her run. She stepped away from the game for a while, ran a couple of marathons, because what else would you do if you step away from the game? Kind of reassessed her relationship with soccer, and then Alan Kirkup, her former assistant coach at Florida, ran into her dad randomly one night at dinner and asked if Parker would be interested in coming back to the game. I think Dad said yes before the sentence was completed, but Parker thought about it, said yes, came back in, and says she's had an amazing experience in Jacksonville. She said if she was going to blow out her ACL, she wouldn't want to do it anywhere else. Support here for her has been massive. And she has continued to be a leader on and off the field for this expansion team.
Yeah, I think Parker might have lost her love for the game, but it was more she needed to find the love for the environment, and she has certainly found that here.
Bowman and Hughes waiting to take this free kick from a long way away. Hughes steps over it. Bowman, chip. Puerta couldn't find enough room to turn.
I'm not sure that was the plan on that set piece. However, if Puerta pulls that back just a little bit, it's a pretty dangerous ball.
The tempo of this game is certainly in Carolina's favor right now. It has been start and stop, not very free-flowing. So Sporting JAX is going to have to be efficient with the chances if they're going to equalize or better than that. Sophie Jones plays one ahead. Smith tried to get to it. Headed forward by Parker Roberts, but too much mustard on that one. Grace Philpotts couldn't catch up. This one's out for a Jacksonville throw. Grace Philpotts gets it into Ashlyn Puerta. Ashlyn cannot control. On one ahead. Caitlin Parks off her line. Spoils it out for a throw for Carolina.
I think I'd like to see a little bit more press from Sporting JAX right now, particularly in throw-ins and anything where they can have a set defense against this Carolina team. Because right now they've got to find a way to get the ball and dictate play if they're trying to find the equalizer.
Now a throw for Sporting JAX.
What are we doing, girl? Literally, what are we doing? Girl to girl. What is that?
Philpotts with a high throw. Cut off by Merrick. Here's Tyler Lucy. Lucy driving forward. Another shot blocked by Georgia Brown. Comes to Aguilera. Aguilera moves it to her left foot. Another block. I think it was Brown again. Now make Hughes. Chance for Hughes to show the speed. Taken down from behind. No whistle. Hughes can't believe it. Played out wide to Audrey Coleman. Intercepted by Ashlyn Puerta. Now Bailey DeSmit. It's getting a bit raggedy here in the midfield as both teams battle for possession. Hughes making a long run. Got there and wins a throw for Sporting JAX. He wants to go quickly. Goes backwards instead. Here's Philpotts on the left side. Roberts making the overlapping run. Said it's Puerta. Roberts continues her run. Puerta goes to the inside. Dispossessed by the Carolina defense. And this one out for a throw for Carolina. Stacey Balaam can't believe it. It looked like it caromed off the foot of Mackenzie George right in front of Balaam. And Balaam is asking the question.
But you can see that Sporting JAX is trying to pick up the pace. They're trying to counter press out of any type of turnover in possession. And I think that's something that's actually working in their favor right now if they can keep that up.
Here's George on a run. Mackenzie George facing up on Georgia Brown. Tries to go around her. Slips one through. Hughes able to clear it out toward midfield where Kenton is pushed down. That's Megan Nally. Again, we talked about the hold-up play of the forwards. This is a great example of that for Kenton. We got the shove from behind.
Yeah, it seemed like a bit of an awkward fall for Nally there.
Trying to come down on the cleats.
I think one of the things that's kind of interesting here is the tactical foul, whether it's been called or not, has been something that's been really instrumental for Sporting JAX in shutting down the transition of Sporting JAX.
Let's check in once again with Emerson Burris.
Well, guys, one thing that keeps coming up around Sporting JAX is just how close this group has become during the club's inaugural season. The team had a big dinner earlier this week where players and staff shared memories and celebrated everything they've accomplished so far this year. I recently sat down with Captain Sophie Jones and Parker Roberts, and both said they've never been a part of a locker room quite like this one. Between NWSL experience and national team time, playing at high levels, even though they said this group stands out because of how connected everyone is and how many genuinely good people are inside this locker room. They also said that chemistry didn't happen by accident. It's credit to the recruiting process and the culture Sporting JAX built long before this team ever played their first match.
All right, well, cohesion can take you a long way. Goals can take you even further. Sporting JAX needs to find one here. Huerta came to the middle. It was Bowman who cut her off. Now Phil Potts, beautiful feed. Sophie Jones in the box, tried to center and knocked away. It'll be a Sporting JAX corner. But that intensity starting to pick up on the Sporting JAX attack.
Yeah, combination play. This is exactly what Sporting JAX is known for. Great overlapping run by Sophie Jones. Just couldn't get the ball across, but gets a set piece out of it.
Butler stepped in front of it. Here's the center of the corner kick. And a whistle for a foul in the box. You can enter the Prinks Tires USL Cup Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on the bottom right of your screen to enter today. Sophie Jones to Kenton. Now Kenton, a little 1-2. For Sophie Jones. Jones being more aggressive in the attack than she typically is. Huerta going to the outside. Marked by two players. Put it in. Sent away. Georgia Brown came charging for it. Now Jones tracks it down. Here's Phil Potts. Grace Phil Potts. Lifts one. A header. Just touched wide. Oh, Georgia Brown got her head to it, and Martinez got the fingertips on it to push it wide. It'll be a Sporting JAX corner.
Yeah, that took full extension by Sid Martinez to be able to take away that one off the board. That's a terrific header by Georgia Brown, a great ball in, and a great save.
So another corner coming for Sporting JAX with some raindrops falling here at Hodges Stadium. Sophia Bowman. Sends it in. Over the top of everybody and out for a goal kick. Couple more moves being made by Stacey Balaam. Jade Pennick will come on. Pennick comes on for Ashlyn Huerta. And Jesse Hunt will come on for Maggie Illig. So you've got forward and a midfielder for an attacking mid and a defender. Pretty clear the message there. It's full speed ahead for Sporting JAX here, trying to get the equalizer.
Yeah, that's going to leave them a little bit vulnerable, so they're going to have to really pay attention to how they find a shape.
I think that'll bring Philpotts back onto the back line, likely. Hughes goes back to her regular spot at the left wing back position. And Pennick is going to play, it looks like, up top with Bailey DeSmit on ball into the box. Play it back to Coleman.
Taylor, great job! Audrey, so good!
And now here comes Kenton. You've really got three forwards out there right now for Sporting JAX with Kenton, DeSmit, and Jade Pennick. Pennick scored the first goal in Sporting JAX history in the opening game against DC Power. He started the early portion of the season, but has come off the bench of late. And everybody around the club just raves about how professionally she's handled that. English woman who's played in Australia.
Yeah, I think what Stacey Balaam is hoping here, that Pennick's experience can help play off a little bit in these waning moments. I mean, these are the moments that you haven't been a part of until you've been a part of, and she certainly has.
When these two sides played on January 31st on this field, on a day that was very different, there were snow flurries, Pennick scored in the 85th minute to give Sporting JAX the 1-0 victory. That was the start of the spring half of the season. Here's Pennick with a touch. Cut off by a pair of Carolina defenders. Here's Hunt. Grace Philpotts. Hughes lets it go for a throw. Substitution coming for Carolina. Emily Morris will come in for Lily Nabet. Morris, one of the younger players on this side, was a teammate of Kate Parks at Wake Forest. She was a player in the national championship game as a senior. Just 22 years of age. So some youthful exuberance coming on here in the 79th minute.
Got some fresh legs, but man, I feel like Nabet has been part of the engine of this group. It's a little bit of a surprising decision for me from Coach Philip Poole, but certainly he knows his personnel.
Here's Philpotts to make Hughes, making the turn into the box. And sent away by Carolina for the moment. Georgia Brown gathers for Sporting JAX. Chipped into the box, headed away. Brown will send it wide for Paige Kenton, who's playing a little deeper right now with the other two forwards on. Philpotts tries to slide one through for Bowman. Couldn't get her foot around it. Goal kick coming. 10 minutes regulation time remaining here in Jacksonville. Mackenzie George's 6-minute goal has held up so far for Carolina Ascent as they try to win their 7th straight game and run their unbeaten string to 12 in a row.
That was a great play because Meg Hughes was creating some width, which really spread out the Carolina defense. They slide a ball through. If they can continue to do that, they're going to find some space in there.
Here's Lucy. Big one over the top. The winner of our game will face Lexington SC in the Gainbridge Super League Final on Saturday. It'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff in Lexington. It'll be Carolina or Jacksonville. We'll know in the next 15 minutes or so. Goal kick coming now for Carolina. Sporting JAX has put some attacking players on, trying to create some opportunities here, trying to find that way through to unlock the Carolina defense that has been so good in this game and all year long. While Carolina scored 39 goals during the regular season, Sporting JAX scored 54. But Carolina conceded only 27 all year. Here's Sophie Jones down the middle of the park to Jesse Hunt. Tried to side foot one, and now the foul called back behind where Jones was knocked down.
Interesting place for a set piece here. It's like, what do you do with this one? Because it's dead on, pretty far out. It's going to be an interesting choice of where they play this ball.
Sophia Bowman and Grace Philpotts are in the area to take this one. The clock, the ally of Carolina Ascent right now. The crowd here at Hodges Stadium trying to exhort on the home side. Bowman wide to Sophie Jones. Meg Hughes, one touch. Didn't amount to much.
No, I think Meg Hughes got to take another touch there just to be able to get down to the end line a little bit and hopefully get more numbers in the box for Sporting JAX.
Stacey Balaam has made some pivotal moves through the first campaign for Sporting JAX. She has pushed the right buttons on substitutions. We'll see if one of her subs can come through here. Carolina has been stalwart so far in this game. Delayed whistle. Played the advantage for the moment. And Parker Roberts got to it. So a free kick coming for Carolina from a wide position.
Number 7. Congratulations, lucky number 7.
Aguilera will come over to take it. Lifted toward the top of the box, headed away by Pennick, and a foul called there. The minutes ticking away for Sporting JAX. The number 2 seed in the Gainbridge Super League playoffs, down a goal to the 3rd seed, Carolina.
Sporting JAX has just got to work on their shape early here just so that they can have a head start in getting Carolina to either spread their defense or make some decisions here. They're going to open up some spaces.
Here's Bowman playing it wide for Philpotts. Now Meg Hughes. Carolina very compact in their defensive lines here. Hughes. And Philpotts. Hughes looking to take a player on. Sent it in. Only a Carolina foot got to it. And this one from Georgia Brown too wide. It'll be a throw in for Carolina.
There's good patience by Sporting JAX and good discipline by Carolina Ascent. You know, every time the ball goes backwards, they step up as a unit. Every time it got a little bit deeper, they drop in. I mean, it's really very disciplined to see what Carolina does defensively here.
A well-schooled team under Philip Poole, who has put his stamp on this team for sure. This one cleared away. Collected by Parker Roberts, who will send one forward. Here's Kenton. Paige Kenton out wide. Tried to poke it through. Cut off by Carolina again.
You know, it's a real debate because it's almost like you want to go a little early against this Carolina team because they're so good at getting back and getting organized. But at the same time, you know, it's the DNA of Sporting JAX to really probe and to be patient.
I just really was questioning everything. I was like,
Here's Brown to Philpott. Less than 4 minutes regulation time remaining. There should be a little bit of stoppage time, but it probably won't be excessive. So every opportunity for Sporting JAX becoming all the more precious.
And tonight's winner is your captain, number 8, Sophie Jones.
And sent toward the midway point.
All it takes is one chance here for Sporting JAX to crack open this Carolina defense, but it's certainly going to take something special.
Kept in by Hughes. Tried to slide one through for Pennick. Now here's Bailey DeSmit. Parker Roberts coming forward. And this one is easily handled by Sydney Martinez. I don't think that's exactly what Parker had in mind.
Looked like she was trying to bend one behind the back line, just mishit it. Again, the width is on if they can find it. And if you can find it, then go early before this Carolina defense can just sit in.
88th minute in Jacksonville. Carolina Ascent had unfinished business from last season when they were the Players' Shield winners. If they can hang on here, they'll go to the finals in Lexington. Sporting JAX had some unfinished business. They were atop the table until the last weekend. And now they're fighting for their playoff lives. Another run out for Carolina. Coleman, save made by Kate Parks to keep this one within a goal.
You know, you got to take risks to go forward when you're in this position of Sporting JAX. That's a great save, great positioning by Kate Parks to keep the second goal off the table.
Here comes Sophie Jones. Now to make Hughes. Spins one out wide for Sophia Bowman. Now Jade Pennick, the veteran. Back to Sophie Jones. Back to Georgia Brown. Over the top. Well played to make Hughes. Hughes back to Georgia Brown. Brown tries to flick one in. It's deflected out wide for Paige Kenton. Now Bowman. Bowman sends one in. Headed up and sent out. It'll be a throw for Sporting JAX as we approach the 90th minute. Kenton taking on Aguilera. Over the top, and it will be a Sporting JAX corner.
I feel like Sporting JAX is on the power play. Got the goalkeeper in the box, got everybody going forward.
There will be 2 minutes of stoppage time added to this game. Kate Parks is about 2/3 of the way forward right now. Bowman with the corner kick. Punched away by the Carolina keeper, Sydney Martinez, for another Sporting JAX corner.
You know, Martinez has done a great job of winning some of these balls. I might put somebody right on top of her to just impede her ability to come out and win it cleanly.
The header, Sophie Jones, just wide. Never really was challenging the goal mouth there. And now we're into stoppage time. And it's all about desperation now for the home side. Hughes steps in front of this one. Now out wide for Kenton. Hughes dispossessed. Sporting JAX throwing a lot of ammunition forward. Mackenzie George on the counter. A long run, tied up by Hughes. This will be a yellow card. There's that tactical foul again with a minute of stoppage time left.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate one, but almost had to do it because she was going to go on a run. But at the same time, time is the enemy right here, and it's taking lots of time off the clock.
Another couple of subs coming in for Carolina here at the next opportunity. Instead, they'll play the free kick. Jesse Hunt tracks back for it for Sporting JAX. She and Phil Potts keeping possession. Now Parks. Second ball handled by Paige Kenton. Aguilera sends it out. And that's the final whistle. Carolina Ascent didn't win a game until October the 4th, but they finished strong. 7 straight wins, including this playoff victory. They also get their 12th straight without a defeat as they dispatch the home side Sporting JAX 1-0 on a 6-minute goal by Mackenzie George. Carolina Ascent advances to the Gainbridge Super League final to face Lexington SC on Saturday. Very impressive defensive performance by Carolina here in this one, Becky.
Yeah, I mean, it was a super practical approach to this game, particularly once they scored early. I thought they did a terrific job of being very, very disciplined on defense. They took advantages of the opportunities that they had. And really, like, the only transition they had was the one they scored on. Efficiency at its highest level.
And for Sporting JAX, the season comes to an end after a very impressive record-setting year for goals and wins in the Gainbridge Super League, but they fall short in the playoffs. Back to hear from some of the participants and take a look at the highlights and stats. Straight ahead from Jacksonville, Carolina Ascent 1, Sporting JAX 0 in the semifinals. The final in Jacksonville. Carolina Ascent 1, Sporting JAX 0 in the Gainbridge Super League semifinals. Carolina advances to the finals on Saturday. Let's hear from the head coach and the captain of Carolina Ascent, Philip Poole, and Jill Aguilera standing by with Emerson Burris.
Well, Jill, this team is headed to the Gainbridge Super League finals. Walk me through the emotions right now.
Yeah, I think we're all really excited. We've worked really, really hard. We've had ups and downs. We've found different ways to win, and we've grinded through a lot of really, really tough games, and this was one of them. And I think that we've done the work, and we've learned from what the coaches have told us and our experience on the field, and I think we're just really excited to get that one more win to go.
Last season, this team won the clinched the Player Shield. You fell short in the postseason. Was there a sense of redemption or unfinished business this time around?
I think we take every year with a new mindset, and this mindset has been really great. You never know what the year is going to hold. We always hold ourselves to the highest standards, and we want to win everything. And although we didn't win the Shield this year, I think we've grown a lot throughout this entire season, and it's just brought us to this moment.
Coach, 12 games unbeaten. What has made this team so special in the second half of the season?
I think Jill said it. I think we've won games in different ways. I think we've had to grind some out. We scored early today. We scored late. We've come back from being down last week against a good Jacksonville team. So I think we've won lots of games in different ways. But I think when you look at it like that, it's because we've got good people, good locker room, good culture, and I'm proud of them.
Headed to Lexington next weekend. What can you expect there?
Yeah, listen, Lexington are a good team. I think over the course of the season, you saw some of their qualities. We tied at their place 1-1, and they equalised in the 98th minute. We beat them at our place, so it's going to be a good matchup. I think they've got a great team. It's a completely new team from the year before, so you never know what you're going to get. But Lexington are a good team like Jacksonville are, and we just keep moving and focus on one game at a time.
Guys, thanks so much for the time. Go celebrate this one.
Thank you.
Guys.
All right, thank you, Emerson. Let's take a look at the highlights from this one for Sporting JAX and Carolina Ascent. This was our Pepsi save of the game on the set piece, the corner kick, and Kate Parks getting a hand to it. She had a couple of moments where she had to rise to the occasion in set piece moments, but this was just a couple of minutes later, 6th minute, and Mackenzie George puts it away to give Carolina that early edge, really set up the rest of the game.
Well, it set up the rest of the game because of their defensive prowess at the other end of it. I mean, they did such a good job of managing a 1-0 lead, not just in the first half, but particularly in the second half.
No doubt about that. Carolina very pragmatic in their approach. Again, another moment here on set pieces where the corner kick wound up off the crossbar, then off Kate Parks. Carolina had some opportunities, as did Jacksonville. Grace Philpotts here, and Georgia Brown had one that was tracking toward that post. Sydney Martinez got a hand to it, and our Sporting JAX player of the match is going to be Georgia Brown, based on her performance today in the attack, but also defending. Let's talk in the big picture for Sporting JAX here for a moment. Carolina Ascent advanced to the Gainbridge Super League Finals with a 1-0 victory over Sporting JAX. One more game to go before this second season of the Gainbridge Super League is capped, and that comes on Saturday in Lexington. For Becky Burley, Emerson Burris, and our entire crew here in Jacksonville, Cole Pepper saying thanks for watching the Gainbridge Super League on Peacock.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.